Hello everyone, welcome to Monica's Singapore Kitchen. Today I'll share with you a Nyonya Kueh recipe called Onde Onde. Onde Onde is a much loved dessert in Singapore and Malaysia. The traditional Onde Onde are small adorable green balls made up of pandan glutinous rice skin filled with palm sugar. They are then rolled over salted shredded coconut. Once you bite into these little treats, the melted caramel palm sugar explodes in the mouth. The aroma of the palm leaves makes eating Onde Onde so satisfying. Come along with me to see how Onde Onde is made. First, we need to make the coconut coating. Here I have 200 grams of fresh grated coconut. You can get the grated coconut from the supermarket or from the wet market. So what we need to do at the moment is to put 1 teaspoon of salt. Salt enhances the deliciousness of this kueh. Mix the salt and the coconut together completely. Make sure that it is totally coated, with the salt. Then spread it out evenly so that it cooks evenly. Then put in 2 knotted pandan leaves. So we're going to steam the coconut to prolong the shelf life of our Onde Onde. If you are just making a few Onde Onde and it will be consumed within a few hours, then you need not steam your grated coconut. Okay, so put it over boiling water and steam it for 10 minutes. So 10 minutes later, it is completely cooked, so we can turn off the flame and remove the knotted pandan leaves. So the aroma of the pandan leaves would have been permeated into the coconut. So the next thing we need to do is to prepare our pandan juice to impart pandan flavor into our Onde Onde. This pandan flavor is non-negotiable in making authentic and traditional Onde Onde. If you cannot get hold of it, then substituting pandan juice with pandan extract is a last resort. They are available in the baking aisle and most certainly online. So then we'll just blend this fresh pandan leaves. Okay, so it has to be very fine like this, and then we sieve it using a sieve to separate the pulp from the pandan juice. So we need to use our spoon to gently press the pulp so that we can extract the last drop of this precious pandan juice. It is very fresh. I just got it from my garden. So we have 300 milliliters of pandan juice. We need this amount. Okay, so let's put this aside and move on to the Gula Melaka. Gula Melaka is also called palm sugar. It comes in small cylindrical blocks of 200 grams each. They are very dark and hard. Gula Melaka is intensely rich and sweet with toasty caramel flavors. So we need to cut it into small cubes of about 4 grams each cube. Okay. Then we'll put this aside, so we have our 4 gram cubes, about maybe 20 or 30 cubes. Alright, so now we move on to make our dough. We require glutinous rice flour. We also need the rice flour. Then we need our pandan juice, 300 milliliters of it. Then the next ingredient is the green food coloring. This is optional. If you are happy with the green color from the pandan leaves, then you can omit this. Then lastly, we need 1 teaspoon of oil. Okay, so let's make our dough. So here we go. This is glutinous rice flour. Then this is the rice flour. Give it a good stir, mixing the 2 flours together. Then pour our pandan juice a little at a time at the center and stirring the flour, incorporating the flour a little bit at a time. So once it reaches this crumbly texture like that, I'm going to go in with my hand. So I'm going to press all these crumbs together so that they stick together to form a smooth ball. Okay, then we add our optional green food coloring. Then mix it again, knead it for a couple of minutes. And then we add in 1 teaspoon of oil and then mix all these up again. So at this point, if you think that it is a bit dry or a bit, like lots of crack, then you can always add a bit of water, adjust it, yeah? Then our dough should be soft, but not so soft that it is runny when picked up. The dough is not sticky, but smooth and malleable. So let's put this aside and let it rest for about 10 minutes. Then 10 minutes later, take a small bit of the dough, weigh it. So for my Onde Onde, I want it to be about 200 grams per ball. If you want it to be smaller, like 10 grams per ball, then you can always, by all means, you can do that, but please adjust the Gula Melaka accordingly. So form all the balls. So after the balls are formed, so what we need to do then is to press each ball and form it into a disc of about 6 cm in diameter. So gently press and spread it out like so. Then put in our Gula Melaka and seal it completely. The sealing is important because we do not want our melted caramel Gula Melaka to seep up during the cooking process. So we roll it into a tight ball, making sure that there is no air gap between the dough and the brown sugar. So let's try another one. Yep. So press it into a disc of about 6 cm. Then place the Gula Melaka cube at the center, wrap it very tightly. Yeah, no air gap. Yeah, no air gap between the two ingredients because we know that air will expand when it is cooked, causing it to crack. So then roll until we form a smooth ball. This rolling is good because it closes up any visible gap. Okay, so then do it for all the others, and we're going to cook in batches. So first we bring a big bowl of a big pot of water to boil. Create a vortex to prevent the balls from sticking to the base of the pot. Roll each ball again before dropping in to ensure complete seal. Do not overcrowd the balls. Cook in batches, around about maybe 10 balls at a time for the size of the pot that I'm using. So we do not want the balls to clump together. Okay, so once you reach about 10, 11 balls like so we are going to let it come to a boil. So once it boils, you will see that one after another of the balls will float up. So then we know that once it's floating up, we know that the balls are cooked. Okay, so we wait for a while for the balls to float. So meantime, we will just give it a gentle stir to prevent sticking. So we are cooking it over medium heat. Now can you see that the balls are nicely floating up? It's just like, oh, I'm ready kind of thing, I'm cooked. But we are not going to lift them up now as the sugar inside is not completely melted. So we're going to boil it for another 5 minutes or so to ensure that all the sugar will have melted inside. So after this, then we are going to use a skimmer or slotted ladle to lift a few Onde Onde up at a time. Shake off excess water gently and then drop them carefully onto a plate of grated coconut. Then roll them around so that they are completely covered with grated coconut. Then we are going to lift our coconut covered Onde Onde onto a serving plate and arrange them neatly in one layer. So do not pile them up. Yeah, piling up will cause the onde onde at the bottom to leak because of the pressure on top of it. So just one layer will do. Let's take one onde onde and see what's inside. The gula melaka has melted nicely and oozes out when you bite it. These onde onde are soft yet chewy, filled with the aroma from the pandan juice and the coconut sugar. Onde onde is best served immediately while still warm or at room temperature. Hope you will give this recipe a try someday. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, happy cooking!